Yo, what up, man? It's the boy Pushman Mitch. You already know what time it is. I'm the host of the No Fluff Podcast. We back again with another episode. We got the legend, the myth. Everybody know what time it is. My girl Chrissy is in the building. Serial entrepreneur, super traveling nurse, getting all bags. Any bag they get in her way, she cannot help but to pick it up. What's up, Queen? How you got? What you got going on?
What's up, Mitch?
Chilling, man. I'm glad I got you on the podcast. I was trying to, hey, look, everybody, I was trying to get this girl on the podcast. Before I even had a thought of the podcast being made, I was like, I got to get Chrissy on here.
I love that.
You know what I mean?
That's love.
We need a lot more black queens out here showing people how to travel,
True.
make money, live their life, and
True.
be able to live abundantly. And that's what you be doing.
True.
Word. So look, so what's going on? 2022 just touched down. What's the goals for 2022?
Goals for 2022. Master Atlanta. I just moved here to Atlanta. Work as a travel nurse less. I feel like I've already mastered that. So I'm like moving on to something completely different. I want to tackle Airbnb. And I want to teach people how to become travel nurses, but use your money to just become serial entrepreneurs. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, okay, you making $40K a month. You making $10K a month. You making $20K a month. And what you doing with it? You doing the same thing that you did last year. It's just a cycle. So I want to teach people how to get out of that cycle.
So
That's my focus for this year.
Get in,
yeah.
and then have a strategy to get out utilizing that income.
Oh, 100%.
That's the key. A lot of people don't think that way because that's a mindset switch. Because poor people think day to day, middle class people think month to month, rich people think year to year. So I mean, you already thinking the exit strategy when you're going in. So it reminds me. You know what it reminds me of?
What?
You know what it reminds me of?
What?
It reminds me of when on what was it, Players Club. When she was like, "Don't let the money make you" or some shit, but she basically was talking about
don't let the money make you. Make the money, 100%.
So you go to you making the money out of there, but don't let it change you. Let you make sure you know that end goal. Because Lisa Ray was supposed to be in going to school, right? Or to be what was she supposed to be?
I don't know what she was doing, but she was in school, but she was like still,
she ended up being
working
like
at night.
A news reporter. So she had a means to an end. So always had that end goal in mind. Remember when you get into the game, it's a lot of money in traveling nurses, right? So you've been running the bag up real crazy.
Oh, 100%.
I see them Da Vinci boots. Givenchy. Lord God bless you.
Don't start. Don't start.
Look, I'm going to ask you about this, what you're wearing right now. It looks real dope. It's fire.
Okay.
So women, a lot, the new trend now is women wearing these bodysuit things, right? What's that? It's not called a bodysuit. What is that called?
I don't really pay attention to trends, though.
I know you just was like, this fly, I need it. I got to have it in the closet.
Well, it's like I said, like I just moved to Atlanta. It's cold as hell in Atlanta. I don't have a lot of winter clothes. So I was trying to think like, okay, well, what can you have on to be like completely covered up? Tennis shoes, I don't really wear tennis shoes. I wear tennis shoes at work. But other than that, I don't have like, I'm not a sneakerhead anymore. I'm not in high school.
Ooh,
so
don't be
it's like
a sneakerhead.
No shade or anything like that, but I only wear like heels and sandals. That's
Got
not gonna work for Atlanta.
Got you. So
in the winter.
When you be traveling all of these places, do you be having sandals and heels on while you out here in all of these countries? Because how many countries you been to?
I want to say like 23 or 24.
23 or 24 countries, not states. So look, me in particular, I've been to a couple countries, but I ain't been as much as. How can you like travel so much? Like, how does that make sense for what you do for work?
Well, as a nurse, not even just a travel nurse, primarily everyone works 36 hours. So that's only 3 days a week. You have 4 other days out of the week, and I just go. But as a travel nurse, like the way I approach travel nursing is, what do I want? This is what I want. Can you provide it? If you can, okay, we can do business together. If not, I'm just staying on vacation until somebody can give me a contract that will work with what I want.
Wow, and you can like negotiate that.
Yeah, you can negotiate everything. Everything's negotiable. Everything.
Right. So now you negotiated the way where you can go work for 3 days and then go travel to Barbados and shit.
Yeah, so like, you could work 3 days in the beginning of the week, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, have those 4 days off for the rest of the week, have the first 4 days of the next week off, and then work the last 3 days. So you have like a week off.
Crazy. And then you just been traveling all over the place. What's your favorite country?
Favorite country so far, I would say Italy. I really like Italy.
What? Why? Why Italy?
The food was good. The weather was good. Just vibes. High vibrations.
Dope. A lot of people can't say they've been to Italy. Like, it's just literally, you travel like, what's it called? A flight attendant.
You know, at one point I was going to quit my job and be a flight attendant.
Crazy.
Making crazy money as a nurse, but I'm like, I love to travel more.
Right.
And what I had to realize is you can still be a travel nurse. You can still make a lot of money and you can still travel when you want. So I just had to, like, I only work at certain hospitals. I only work in certain tiers. I only, like, I can literally, right now I'm not on a contract. So I'm just kind of just chilling.
Right.
But I can do that for like 6 months or 7 months and then work 2 months out of the year and still make somebody's salary. You know what I'm saying? I don't look at travel nursing as everything. I look at like, okay, do I want to spend more time with my niece? Do I want to spend more time with my cousin? Do I want to learn my partner? Do I want to be off for February so I can travel all around Africa? That's how I look at it. You know, the way I look at work or physically working, earned income is way after the fact. I don't lead with that.
Got you. So now, what have you been learning when you've been traveling? Like, cause me, when I go travel, I learn something new from everywhere I go. Culturally, I think it's a form of education for me. It makes me understand how privileged I am for where I am. Because a lot of times people go to like the resorts and all of that stuff. So me, I go check out the cities, I go check out the suburbs, I go check out the poorer spots in the city. But the thing I need to do is I need to learn something from this trip. Not just have fun the whole time, I want to learn something from it. So normally I take a safari and then they educate you. Like when I was in Jamaica, I was in Montego Bay, dude teaching me about, you know, it's the land of many different cultures. You know, there's a lot of Middle Eastern people over there, Asian people, clearly black, white, but a whole bunch of different cultures in one people. They're all Jamaican. And he was telling me all of the different things, like how KFC is like the #1 KFC there.
KFC in Jamaica is
they
lit.
love it. The line is like, you know, to go get some Jordans.
Oh, it's crazy, yeah.
It's nuts. So, I learned stuff like that, but I also just learned culturally about everything that's about it. And you get to see the poverty and the stuff that they don't have that we have in abundance in the United States. So it just shows me the privilege and stuff that we complain about. I always see that. I'm like, yo, how can I ever complain when I got all of this at my disposal? So what's something that you be learning when you be traveling?
So it all depends on where I go. And this is a conversation that I was having with my partner because, like, I know a lot of people, they travel to get the, like, bomb pictures or they travel to get amazing content at a resort. But for me, like, I discovered that I wanted to be a nurse when I was in Costa Rica, like, on a medical mission trip. I had no idea what I wanted to do. I was in college for, like, 3 years still trying to figure it out. Like, nope, it ain't hit yet. It hasn't set in yet. And then I met my therapist in Turks and Caicos. I met my partner on my first assignment when I moved to Baltimore. So, like, when I look at traveling, I don't just look at it as, like, oh, this is a glamorous place I can take pictures. It's just like, no, like, why am I here? Like, what's my purpose? And, like, something similar to what you said, when I was in Africa, I guess, like, 2 years ago, I went to Zambia, and we were riding bikes in, like, the poorest of the poorest in Zambia, like, where, you know, like, they have huts of bamboo sticks and wood, and they're making like stuff from their homes from clay, everything like that. So we were riding bikes, and out of nowhere it started raining. So, you know, I'm pissed. My hair, I'm drenched. I'm like, man, how I'm gonna do my hair? How I'm gonna look good for dinner? What I'm gonna do? And we were riding by a school, so we like went there for shelter or whatever. And all of the kids were so happy, and I'm just like, it's raining, but the man was like, you know, it hasn't rained in like 7 weeks.
Damn.
And it brought me back to when I was in high school and I was just waiting at the bus stop, and I was just like, I'm so tired of the rain, like I hate the rain. And a homeless person was like, somebody didn't wake up today. They'll never be able to see rain again. You need to be grateful that you can see rain.
Facts.
So it's like that happened to me when I was in high school, and then 2 years ago when I was in Africa, I had that revelation again. So it was just like, okay, I still haven't learned the lesson yet. So sometimes when I travel to different places, it all depends. Like most times it's for leisure, but I like doing things like what you said. You know what I'm saying? Going to the safari. I want to go where are the local people at?
Facts.
Because they know where the good food is.
True.
I don't want to just have the food like right off the ship. I want to know where the locals at. I love meeting new people, and I think nothing happens by coincidence. Like you always meet people for a reason. So I try to tap into that.
Lit. So that's dope. That's dope. I feel like a lot of people can relate to that. Me in particular, when I meet people, I think it's for no reason. I'll be like, why are you talking to me? No, I'm just joking. No, 100%. No, I agree. So, all right. I want to say, let's go back to the nursing.
Okay.
Because that's not your bread and butter. You getting an Airbnb and everything. But let's just say if I wanted to become a traveling nurse, what do I got to do?
So I have an ebook, right? So literally anybody can read that book. Like a plumber can read it.
Is it a free ebook?
No, it's not a free ebook.
Okay, so now my question was, if I was to want to become a traveling nurse,
Okay.
where would I start? What do I do?
Oh, so what I was saying is like the ebook literally is written from like A to Z. So anyone, even if you're not in the profession of nursing, like you will be able to know how to become a travel nurse. So the first thing that you have to do is like get accepted into nursing school.
Okay.
So you'll get accepted, and times of COVID is like switching things up. So traditionally you would need like at least 1 year, 2 years of experience as a nurse, and then you literally can just find recruiters, take contracts anywhere. But now because of COVID, it's just like they need nurses, they need bodies. So you could literally be working from anywhere for like 6 months to a year as a nurse, and then you can just get put on as a travel nurse.
So being a regular nurse and a travel nurse, two different things.
Right.
Traveler nurse is better?
In my opinion, I feel like travel nursing is better.
Why?
One, because of the pay,
Pays more.
100%. So
Okay.
literally travel nurse. Okay, so the way you should just think about it is, say you're a nurse, say I'm a nurse, right? I'm a traveling nurse. We work at the same hospital. You sitting right next to me at another computer. You're making $20 an hour. I'm making $150 an hour.
Just because you came from out of town to come help.
It doesn't even have to be from out of town.
So why? Why is it more? Why? What's the science behind that?
It's just the need. It's just the demand.
That's interesting.
So even if, okay, here in Atlanta, you can be working at, I'm not familiar with all the hospitals here, but
So that's so Grady.
yeah. So like say you're working at Grady, right? You literally can take a travel contract at another hospital in Atlanta. You don't have to move to another state or another country to be a travel nurse.
Bars. That's what we came here to learn. Y'all know what? Y'all know what's Sway in the morning? You little sucker rappers. You little traveling nurses who ain't giving no game up. Chrissy giving all the game.
Yeah, 100%. But for me, it's just like, I'm not trying to withhold a game. I want you to know the game. I want you to know how to be marketable. I want you to know how to negotiate. Because if you come into the game and you're taking $1,000 a week, thinking that, okay, that's $4,000 a month, that's way more than what you were making. But on the higher end, there's nurses who are making $10,000 a week, $11,000 a week. You kind of messing up the game. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I want to teach you.
Yeah, you undercut you. So, biggest contract you had, how much a week?
10K.
10K a week? Baller status. Nigga like me, 10K a week when I was, I would have sold my soul. No, I'm just joking.
Grow up.
Nah, that's what's up. So that's 40K a month. That's a player contract. How long was that contract for?
4 weeks. I didn't want to extend it.
Oh, you didn't want to? Why? Was it like crazy circumstances?
So the thing is, as a travel nurse, it's not just about making the most money. It's about being very skilled. It's about knowing when to say no. It's about knowing when to say, okay, you're a doctor and I'm a nurse, but I understand science just like you do. I understand molecules just like you do. I heard this patient say out of their mouth, this is what they want and this is what they don't want. We're not going to pretend like this isn't a patient here.
Right.
I feel like a lot of travel nurses, sometimes they just go in, they put their head down, they're like, I'm doing my job, I'm leaving, and that's that. But I'm really trying to go into hospitals and like transform the entire environment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like that hospital that I was working at, I kind of got into it with the cardiologist because he didn't want to treat the patient. And I'm just like, if this patient dies, that's going to be on my conscience. I'm not okay with that.
Right. Morality for sure.
Oh, 100%.
Right.
And integrity, because the money's going to come. It's not just necessarily about the money, but it's just like, I was called to be a nurse. So no matter what, I'm going to heal. But if I'm going to be working, like physical labor, I'm going to be getting paid top dollar.
So let me flip that. Have you ever felt like if you left, you're going to be doing a disservice to the people because you're leaving?
I have.
Ooh. See, you like me because I got a lot of mental wear and tear because I used to work at a jail. So when I'm basically, all I do as a correction officer is I watch people who came into jail, who got brought to jail. I'm the babysitter, low key. I tell them when to eat, when they can drink, when they can go to sleep, even when they can take showers. So in the jail, they can't take a shower every day. They got shower days.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like that. So long story short, you get to see the mental wear and tear every day, and like you can choose to treat people fairly. You can choose to let them get their privileges that are supposed to have, or you can be an officer who's like, I want to chill and sit at the desk and watch stuff on YouTube until my shift is over. I don't want to let them out. So at the end of the day, you start to realize like, damn. So I when I was leaving, I was like, damn, it's gonna be a lot of bullshit going on because I'm leaving. And they can understand the difference between a person who is like integrity, have morality, because These people is regular people just like us. They victims of their circumstance, and a lot of them are not like where I worked. I worked at the jail, like the city jail. So it's not like it's no murderers or nothing like that in there that have been caught for murder. I was just like, it's just people who get traffic citations. It could be domestic violence, drunk driving, things like that. But it's no like real serial killers that have been caught for serial killing. I ain't saying that they wasn't in there, but as far as that's concerned, but you got people that's just regular people, or people who from ICE. You know what I mean? They immigration, and then we got to watch them. And they getting treated the same way as any other inmate would be treated. And you got to literally still remember that these are human beings in an unmoral type situation. They should not be caged up like that. The thing that you can do the most to a human to make them feel pain is to isolate them.
True.
So that's what they be in. Some inmates that be in 23 and 1. So they're in 23 hours, they come out 1 hour. If the officer decides not to let them out for an hour, then they just in there 24 hours a day. They just isolated. So you in a position to where you're like, yo, I got to be the one to let this dude out. Some of these dudes don't take baths. Some of these dudes are like, mental health patients and stuff like that. So they got a lot going on to where people will be like, oh, no, I don't want to deal with that. So they won't let them out when they're supposed to come out. Mm-hmm. So when you leave, if you're the person who normally does that, what's going to happen to them? I had to think about that when I was like, you know what I mean? When I decided to quit from that. So I just want to know if you had to deal with that type of thing, because it's tearing me up.
I mean, I think that it's very important to have discipline and discernment, right? Mm-hmm. And a lot of nurses, a lot of people in the healthcare industry, just in general, they kind of have this hero syndrome. So it's like, if the nurse before me didn't give this patient a bath, I'm going to give this patient a bath.
Right.
Or if this doctor didn't listen to me, I'm going to go to another doctor to listen to me to get whatever this patient needs. But what I realized, like my first hospital that I ever worked at, is I can't save everybody.
Facts.
I can't save everybody. I also can't put myself in the role of being God. I can't control everything. So I focus on what I can control.
What's that? Yourself.
I can control myself, but I can control other people too.
Like what? Explain that.
So, for an example, I am not a bully. I don't support bullying. I don't support violence, right? But I see nurses bullying other nurses or other people in the healthcare industry. It's called lateral violence in the workplace, right? So if I see someone mistreating someone else and that person doesn't have as much confidence, or they just feel like, why am I here? Because someone else made them feel small. I would do everything in my power to make them feel superior. And then it's just the person who was bullying them, they're just like, oh, well, why isn't she talking to me like that? Or why doesn't she want to be my friend? Why doesn't she want to, be involved in me? And I teach people you got to be very intentional about how you treat people. I don't judge people based on how they treat me, because you're going to be nice to me. You're going to respect me. I judge people based on how they treat other people. So indirectly, I'm controlling that person, because it's okay, if they want to be my friend, or if they want to be in my space, or they want to embrace my energy, you're going to have to learn how to be kind to people. You're going to have to learn how to treat people. So indirectly, I end up controlling people in the process. But for the most part, I really just be myself. And I think my energy is very infectious. So people are just like, where is she from? Or how does she do this? And I'm just I'm just being me.
Okay, that's an interesting synopsis right there.
It's true.
Okay, so yeah, your energy is like that though. You do have an infectious energy. I can tell when you come in, you command a room, and you're outspoken too. So you literally be like, yeah, I'm like this.
It's crazy, but I'm a big introvert.
Yeah, but I think when you know how some people are introverts, but when they get out in that moment, they literally can turn to something else. I think you're like that.
True.
I feel like you're an introvert. I can see that. But when you out and it's time for you to go, you like, we out now. Fuck it. Shit, too tired. But that's what it is. That's a dope thing. That's a good thing to use. Your social currency is strong. People really, I feel like you got a dependable type face and stature. So the way you talk is with confidence. So people believe in that. So a lot of people don't have that gift, that confidence gift. So I talk about that all the time. Confidence is key, especially when it comes to working and being an adult. Being an adult is very difficult for people without confidence, because without confidence, we damn near can't do nothing. We can't trust in our own decisions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's good that you have that. So now I want to talk about this Airbnb venture you got going on. And I want to talk about the experience you have with it already, because you're planning on taking it on full throttle?
Yeah.
Okay, so what's your Airbnb experience, and why do you want to get into Airbnb?
So my Airbnb experience so far, I'm just literally going to apartment building, townhouse, condo, literally that's what my life is going to be for the next 7 days, because So discipline looks different for everyone, right? So discipline for me is, okay, Christina, you're not going to take another travel nursing contract until you have 4 Airbnbs in Atlanta.
Ooh.
Set up, ready to go.
Okay. Why that number?
I don't know. It was just like, okay, 2 is like cool, but 4 is just like, okay, you're putting yourself in position. You're going to have to hire a team. You want to try to automate everything. You want to learn as much as you can about the business, but you don't want to create another job for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And 1 is just like, okay, this may not be like that much to manage. So I wanted like a healthy number where it was just like, okay, it's not too much, but it's also just enough to be like, okay, this isn't a joke. Like, you need to take this seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Because travel nursing money is not bad. And I think that that's what I had to learn with my mindset and entrepreneurship. At the end of the day, like, travel nurses make a lot of money. You know, I don't really have to make money doing anything else. But I had to discipline myself to say, okay, well, you won't see any of this earned income until you start generating this passive income.
That's strong.
So that's what Airbnb is like looking like for me. Why I wanted to get into it, because like my partner, he teaches people how to have Airbnbs without any property, and like I see the everyday process. I see how easy it is for us to travel, how flexible it is for us to travel, the freedom. I can't like ignore that. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of right in my face every day.
Got you. You're a victim of your proximity.
True.
Your partner's in Airbnb.
True.
Why would I not get any? I don't know.
True.
But no, that's dope. So it's a lot of money in Airbnb. I make a lot of money in Airbnb. So I know it's a lot of money in the game. I just had Virgil come on the pod, and we talked about real estate being a source that's literally not unlimited. They're not building any more land. They're not building. It's over. That's as much land as it is now. It's just going to always be. So we always want to get into anything involving real estate. So Airbnb is like, I feel like it's 2 things people going to always need. Place to stay, something to drive. So I'll handle the driving. You handle the place to stay. And then we just collaborate. You feel me? People don't want to collaborate, though. You know what I'm saying? Why people be like that? Why do you think people don't like to collaborate?
I don't know. I think it's all about where you come from, too. Where you come from, what you're exposed to, your environment. So like I came from like a single like parent home. I have what I try to explain to people is like, this isn't my first exposure to hard work. I've been working hard my entire life. You know what I mean? Not just high school, not just middle school. And relationships are very important. I still have relationships with like my first grade teacher.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
How can you even remember your first grade teacher?
Miss Allen. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I still have relationships with my teachers from high school, like my teachers from middle school.
Wait. Before we even go that deep.
Yeah.
This first grade teacher.
How is that deep?
Did she remember you and then you said, oh, or did you really remember this lady?
No, her name is Miss Allen. I remember when 9/11 happened, we were all underneath the table. So the thing is, I'm from a small town in Miami, Coconut Grove. So
Okay.
Coconut Grove is like really small. Like, everyone knows everyone. Your aunt, you may be 30 years old and then find out like this person is your cousin, and you didn't know. You just thought y'all were friends your whole entire life. So I just come from like a small like town like that.
To where like you wasn't the only one who had to know who your first grade teacher was. Everybody
Right.
knew.
And my best friend, she's my best friend for 25 years. So
Dang.
I'm very big on like relationships. I'm very big on loyalty. I'm very big on like, you know, making sure that people understand the value that they have, the power that they have. And I just don't, like I said, I don't look at people like, okay, there's like, I'm just meeting them and I'm just moving on. Like, there's a reason that you meet every single person that you come across.
You kind of smart.
I'm kind of smart. That's what I'm telling you. I've been working hard my whole entire life, like high school, middle school, elementary school. If you read some of my comments, most of the people who follow me are people who've known me for like 10 plus years.
Crazy.
So you know how on social media, like, people be talking to you, they'll be like, sis, such and such. It's just like, no, like, these people really know me.
Wow.
Like, they know me. So it's like, it's exciting to you to see that I have a brand new car, but it's just like, not like they've been new. You know, it's exciting to you for you to see me in Africa, but it's just like, nah, like
they already know what's up.
Before I even had an Instagram. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay. All right, so this part of the pod, real quick, I want you to tell me, how can I make some money? Can you make me some money?
Sure.
How?
I can bring you clientele. So this is what I want to do with Airbnb. I'm sitting here telling people what I want to do, but I'm not afraid because I feel like the vision that I have, nobody can take that away from me. It's already been claimed as mine. I want to have Airbnbs next to hospitals or in proximity to hospitals. I want to teach nurses how to become travel nurses so that they can I'm teaching you how to become a travel nurse.
Okay.
I'm setting you up with housing.
Okay.
I'm setting you up with cars monthly.
Mm-hmm.
There's no excuse. You know what I'm saying? I'm tripling, quadrupling your income monthly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm teaching you how to transform your mindset. Why wouldn't you?
I mean, I don't know why I wouldn't.
Why
So
wouldn't you?
you're gonna set all this up next to hospitals primarily to target other traveling nurses.
And yeah, the people who I teach how to become travel nurses,
Oh,
because
you
a
going?
lot of
Ooh.
I'm going to, like, you know what I'm saying, like completely set everything up for you, because a lot of things you ask people like, okay, well, because in my mind, I don't understand why you would just be okay with making $20 an hour when the person next to you is making $200 an hour.
I mean, I could tell you a reason why, but that's not important.
I don't understand. I really don't
Okay,
understand.
well, when it comes to, I'm okay with that. It's just ignorance is bliss,
I
because
agree.
that person is happy making $20 an hour until they know how much you're making. So that would be a reason why I would be okay making $20 an hour if I'm comfortable with my life and I'm good. But until I find out, damn, Chris, you making $150
But
an
the
hour.
thing is, with the healthcare
Shit.
industry, like, it's not a secret. You know what I mean? That travel nurses are making a lot of money. But what I realize is some people, they stay because of their family, or they stay because they've been working at this hospital for 10 plus years, or whatever the case may be. But I just want people to know that they have options, that they don't have to have either or, that they can have both, they can have multiple, they can do a lot with their life.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to show people that. You know, people get excited about me traveling, but this is just what I do. You know, like, that's my form of therapy. I don't really look at it as, oh, like I'm just doing something luxurious. It's just like, no, whether I was a travel nurse, whether I was an Airbnb superhost, whether I was an accountant, like, I was still going to be traveling around the world.
Got you. Okay, so I want to highlight a couple things. One, this lady loves to travel. I'm gonna highlight another thing. You teach people how to become traveling nurses, and you can teach a caveman how to do that from A to Z.
I could teach a 5-year-old.
You can teach a 5-year old how to become a traveling nurse that makes up to $150,000 or more.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. Third, how can they contact you? That's one. And then if you have a course that you talked about, are you gonna give my people some type of discount codes because they watching a podcast? How
Sure.
much?
Um, let's see. You know, I'll give people 25% off.
25% off?
Mm-hmm.
Make it 30 and we got a deal.
Okay, 30. 30 is cool. No fluff.
Okay.
No
30%
fluff.
off, y'all. Y'all heard it right here on the No Fluff podcast. Check it. So, like I said, you like to travel. You're going to teach people how to become these traveling nurses. You're going to give them a discount code. And you're going to not only do that, but you're going to coach them, right? You got mentorship as well.
Yeah.
So that's the dopest part about it. It's important to have a mentor because you find somebody coming back from where you're trying to go. Clearly, this young lady has already made 40 grand a month as a traveling nurse. She's also an entrepreneur making money outside of that. So I would want to learn from somebody coming back from where I'm trying to go. So why not use you? I would.
Yeah.
If I wanted to become a traveling nurse, I'm not going to look too far. I'm going to go to somebody who's been in 40 countries. Shit, like, yo,
Drama.
what are we talking about? Like, you know how crazy how people is. My boy Ike told me that. He said, listen, man, you go to a barber. What? No, go ahead and say it. You can say it.
Listen, if you want to learn how to cook, who do you go to a barber, right? If you want to learn how to bake, who do you go to a baker?
Mm-hmm.
So why the heck are you trying to learn how to make money from your friends and family who are as broke as you are?
Hard facts, though.
And then why would you go to McDonald's to learn how to become a traveling nurse? You wouldn't. So we're going to go to Chrissy. So, Chrissy, what's your Instagram handle? Where can they find you at? Facebook, TikTok? What we got going on?
So my Instagram is Nurse Chrissy Travels.
Ooh, that's a good Instagram name.
That's my personal Instagram, and then I have a Instagram specifically for like travel nursing and entrepreneurship. It's Nurse Chrissy. So at It's Nurse Chrissy.
Okay, cool. We're going to tag both of those below under this video. So do you want to leave them with a message before we leave the podcast? Because this was strong.
A message. Want more. Build more. Get in the right rooms. Get around the right people. Be excited about life regardless of what's going on. It's so much money out here to be made.
Mm-hmm.
And it's easy.
It's easy. That word right there, that hurts people's stomach. But like I said, Chrissy, it was a pleasure. Appreciate you getting on here and giving them all that sauce.
Thank
You
you
just
for having
you
me.
taught me something new. I didn't understand that regular nurses didn't make as much as traveling nurses, or why. And I didn't even know you can make as much as you do make. That's crazy. we quitting now? Forget the podcast. Everybody want to be travel nurses? Okay, cool. Nah, but like I said, this is that episode of No Fluff Podcast. Nurse Chrissy, y'all know what time it is. Appreciate your love. We out.
All these whips, I feel like me.